y'all, welcome back to Kicking It with K-Rob. It is your host K-Rob, and I'm back with another video. Per usual, it's been a minute. I think that's my thing now. It's been a minute. But today we have a first time guest on here, guys. Her name is Cidnee, and she's an energy / tarot reader. Y'all didn't do my giggly nervous laugh. Maybe I'm getting better at this. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for her to join us.
Okay, there you go.
Hello.
Hi.
Go ahead and introduce the people to who you are, even though I kind of already did. This is my first time guest, guys.
Hey y'all, my name is Cidnee Rich, and I am the owner and creator of Arcana ATL, which is a spiritual space here in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been a reader for 12 years. Along with that, I'm also an event producer. So I have my history in music festivals and music-centered events. So I do that as well with my spiritual business with monthly full moon meditations.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't think to ask how long you've been doing it. I don't know why that ever crossed my mind to ask. 12 years.
12 years. Yeah.
That's a dozen years.
Yeah. A whole decade plus.
A decade plus. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Cidnee, for those that don't know what exactly a tarot reader or energy reader is, can you tell us what that is exactly?
Yes, I'm going to start with the super basics that we all are familiar with from science class. E equals MC squared. We learned that a long time ago. And that formula is basically saying that all matter, which is energy, is already exists. So it cannot be created nor destroyed. So every single thing is matter on this planet. We obviously are made of matter. Literally, our phones are made of matter, the table, everything is matter. And so the energy that we are operating within is also existing in the same spaces as our physical bodies. We may not be able to see it, just like you cannot see the wind, but you can feel it. Or you can't, see the air conditioning, right? But it's on because you feel the coolness. So you can look at energy like that, like this omnipresent thing that is created of everything that we touch, but it's also kind of just like permeating the atmosphere. And so for myself, I have a intuitive ability to be able to translate the energy that we're all kind of existing in. And so that's my energy reading abilities. So I do that through your chakra system, which you guys might be a little familiar with. It's those 7 little colorful dots that you usually see on people like in a line. We all have those. Those are our energy centers. And so I'm able to read people's energy by tapping into their energy centers.
What exactly are chakras like, and what are the chakras? Because haven't thought about that.
Yeah, so chakras are chakra, the word chakra, it means energy. And so it's literally energy centers. So just like I always like to tell people, we have a physical body, which we're all familiar with. We work out, we make sure we're eating well. We have an emotional body. We know when we're feeling angry or frustrated or happy or whatever. We have a mental body, what our brain is doing all the time. And then we also have an energetic body. So we have another layer of us. When you may hear someone talk about your aura, we have this that's within us, and our chakras are part of that system. So you can do maintenance on your energy centers, just like you do maintenance on your physical body. You can go to the gym. Your energy centers, they can sometimes get out of whack. They need alignment. And so when you align your energy, you yourself start to feel better. And then subsequently, the things around you also start to be more in the flow of what you're desiring. So a chakra is basically, like I said, we have 7 main ones from the root all the way to the crown. I'll just go through them really quick because it is interesting. Looks like this.
Okay, thank you for the visual.
So your root, that's all about your physical body, your health, your home, your job, career, family. Your sacral chakra is all about your emotions, your relationships, how you connect with other people, how you feel, your solar plexus. This is all about your energy. So your motivation, your sense of self, your self-esteem is connected here. Your heart chakra connects these lower chakras to the upper chakras. And just like you'd imagine, this is about love. This is about connection, compassion, understanding, forgiveness lives in this space. And then you go to our upper chakras. We have the throat. This is all about speaking your truth,
I hear about that one a
being
lot.
your authentic self. We're activating that right now with this interview. The third eye, which is very familiar. People are familiar with the third eye.
Mm-hmm.
That is on your forehead. That is like your psychicness and your intuitive energy. And your crown chakra is at the very top of your head. And that connects you, all of us, to God, source, angel, big energy that we are all operating under or all came from.
Okay, okay. Yeah, like I said, I hear about the throat chakra a lot. That's I don't know if that's the most common, but that's the one I hear the most often for some reason. Yeah, like I said, we're
Yeah,
continuing
because
this video.
because you're talking, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
people online typing, throat chakra. All that is throat chakra. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You doing what you do for work, you have a very active throat chakra because you talk. So
Yes.
if I were to read your energy or if you got your aura taken, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a blue aura because you activate your throat chakra a lot.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. Noted. Noted. Okay, you're also a tarot reader.
Yes.
So, for those that don't know, can you explain what tarot, am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Tarot is and where it comes from, where it came from.
Yeah. So tarot, some fancy people call it tarot, but I don't do that.
Mhm.
So, like all things, tarot's origins can be traced all the way back to Egypt.
Mhm.
You can go back to the hieroglyphics. There's literally tablets of the cards, like the images, like very rudimentary, basic images that have been translated over all the centuries back from the hieroglyphs. So basically, the tarot was created as a language to understand energy that we cannot see, right? But we can feel it, and so it gives like an information or like a dictionary, you could say, like,
Mhm.
I don't know what this energy is, but it feels like this. And so the tarot is like reflective of energy. It's like a visual representation. And so because we've always been very spiritual people, that has been created a while ago for us to kind of understand how we are moving and existing on a daily basis. So you can draw it back to the Egypt, but the physical playing cards a little early or a little more fast forward, that started getting really popular in France and England because back then you would probably call them gypsies
Mhm.
or that kind of stereotype, but also real. They would be hired to like come and do this parlor game, which tarot was referred to a parlor game for the rich and hoity-toities and for them to come and just be entertained. So it did have, but from there is the realization or the resurgence of the realization that like, oh, this isn't just a game, this is also a tool to help people. And
Mhm.
so from there you started to see more people create decks that were specific to do healing work or to help people on their spiritual journeys, because the tarot is a system. It is a card system, and it is created with 78 cards. So no matter the deck, there's the same 78 cards. Each card has a energetic meaning, and the deck is split into two parts. You have the major arcana and you have the minor arcana. The major arcana are those cards that I was talking about. You can go back to ancient Egypt where they started to see those depictions. There's also lots of parallels with the Bible and the major arcana as well, which people are not aware of because they are very unaware of things, especially that aspect that is not taught, that is not communicated a lot in churches, because it would spoil the surprise that we all are powerful in our own right. But with that being said, there's a lot of biblical references that also are connected to the tarot, because it is essentially a depiction of our soul's journey. So that's what the tarot is. The major arcana is the Fool card, the number 0 card, all the way to the number 22 card of the World. And that basically is any and everything that you could think of encountering in your life. Those cards can represent that energy. So just for an example, the 0 card, the Fool card, the first card, it's all about a brand new start, right? So we go on, we're cyclical humans. So the tarot is a cycle. It restarts itself. And so you go to 0, you go to 22, you start back at 0. Like, it's a whole cycle. We go through those. And the Fool is all about leaps of faith, going out and trying something, even though you're not familiar with it, but with the hopes of finally reaching the World, which is the 22nd card, which represents abundance and achievement and success.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to learn like all of the cards and what they meant?
A while. So I started in 2015? No, 2013. Because I've been doing it for 12 years. So I started in 2013. And back then there was a lot less information. So I would go on Google, still had Google,
Mm-hmm.
not that old. Um, and I would literally just start pulling cards and reading what the card meant. And I bought a really terrible first deck. Do not recommend, if you guys are buying a deck, you want to learn. You could go with the classic Rider Waite, which a Black woman, there's lore that a Black woman is actually is the woman that created the illustrations. Pixie
I
Coleman.
heard that before.
Yeah.
That a black woman
Pixie
did the
Coleman.
illustrators.
Mm-hmm.
What made the first deck bad?
Oh, that I bought. It
Yeah.
just didn't resonate with me at all. I
Mm-hmm.
went to Barnes and Noble. I just chose one. I didn't know what I was choosing. I had no idea about tarot. I didn't know anything. So the deck that I bought, it doesn't follow the Rider Waite. So it's kind of like obscure, and then the visuals are ugly. So there was no resonance there. And so tarot as a very physical visual tool, it was a bad deck. But it took me a while. It was a lot of practice, a lot of practice, and a lot of reading and learning, and eventually obviously memorization. But as I read all the time now, I'm always learning from other readers. I always notice different things. That's why I have so many decks, because different decks depict the energy differently. And so I'm always still learning, but it took me, I'd say, solid, before I felt like really comfortable, I'd say 2 years.
Okay. 2 years. What you said, the Riders?
Rider Waite.
What's that? Is that a brand?
So yeah, it's like the, actually don't own the Rider Waite. Oh, I do. It's right here. I'm a liar. Of course I do. But I don't own the like classic. Mine's holographic.
They're so pretty. I've seen so many pretty tarot card decks. Like, they're just
Yeah.
so pretty.
So the Rider Waite is like the classic. So every deck, every modern deck is based off of this. Now there's a lot of like old decks. Like there's this one called La Luna, which I love. It is like a French deck, and it is very old. I have the Thoth Tarot. This one is very old as well. And so these are not they're not necessarily based off the Rider Waite, but long story short, most decks are based off the Rider Waite, which is your classic. If any depiction that anybody sees online of a tarot card is the Rider Waite deck.
Rider
Waite.
Wait.
Yeah, like Rider, Rider hyphen Waite.
Okay, Rider Waite.
Yeah.
Okay. I might. Oh, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I just. interested just to see if I was saying it right. Rider Waite. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the people that created it, and then some of them call it like the Coleman Rider Waite deck to
Oh,
include the illustrator.
okay. So has anybody ever asked you like what's the difference between what do you do and like a mediumship or a medium and any other supernatural beings or powers? I don't.
Right. So, yeah, totally. They're all kind of in the same world, but that's why I
Mhm.
like to lead with like energy reading because to
Mhm.
me, it's much more understandable to people. It's a little less scary because you can understand it. It's science at the end of the
Mhm.
day, right? So, I like to like anchor my work in that energy versus more of the supernatural, but obviously, that is something that I
Yes,
am,
mhm.
yes, connected to and I enjoy as well. But the so like a medium is literally someone that can communicate with transitioned loved ones. So people
Mhm.
that are have passed. That's what
Mhm.
a medium is. So just because you have maybe intuitive gifts, because we as humans are all intuitive, some of us just have heightened intuition because we practice it.
Mhm.
Some of us have heightened intuition because it's a natural gift that was just like given to us by God. But their intuition, we all have it, right?
Mhm.
Mediumship is like one of those gifts that we're given.
Yeah.
You can't, like, some people have the ability, and some people that read or do anything like anything else in the spiritual space, they can't do that at all. So it really
And
just
you?
depends. Me,
Yeah.
I can, but it's not a super strong gift,
Mhm.
so it comes in when it wants to.
It's a hit or miss kind of thing.
Yeah, so I would
Okay.
never advertise that myself as a medium because I'm not someone that can just immediately like tap into that.
Mhm.
And nor do I think that's part of my like journey. If it
Mhm.
develops, cool, but like that's, I'm not like Teresa Caputo out here like shopping and like I got a message for you. Like
Yeah. I actually watched a couple of her shows before.
yeah,
She's real interesting.
she is.
Did you has there ever been a time where you was like when it happened, when it did hit, where you like kind of spooked out a little bit like
So when I was talking about intuition, so intuition is broken into different categories, just like we have different senses. So
no,
every
not your intuition. I'm talking about like
the
whenever.
mediumship.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
getting, yeah.
Okay.
So with like as a medium, if someone,
Mhm.
how that information or how that person's energy comes to you is going to be dependent upon which intuitive um clair, they're called clairs, are
Yes.
your
Yes.
strongest. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
your clairs, it just clair is a French word for clear.
Okay.
And you could just, and it's literally like clairvoyance, which is the most popular.
See, right?
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So that's clear seeing. So what that means is you could physically see an embodied person. That is part of clairvoyance. But you could also see in your mind's eye or your third eye, you could see an image of somebody. So kind of like if you think about a memory,
Mhm.
it would look like that in someone's mind,
And
right?
I think
Like,
that's what Teresa has. And
right.
yeah.
Oh, and like there's like symbols that like spirit
Mhm.
uses to like communicate. So that would be clairvoyance. So for me, I'm clairsentient and claircognizant the most. Like I have all the clairs, but those are my strongest. So when I have had anybody come through in a reading, it's through clairsentience for the most part, which basically means I'm pointing here because that's that solar plexus that I talked about earlier, that yellow center.
Mhm.
It is all about like feeling sensations, right? So what I will feel is the energy of somebody
Mhm.
that has transitioned, and um it'll feel like a chill, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
goosebumps. And I also get those in general when I'm like having a confirmation, like I get goosebumps, but I'll feel that. And then I'll feel like the person's kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I can feel if they were like super funny or if they were like serious or if I can feel their body shape. I know that sounds weird, but I can tell if they're like tall or short or skinny or bigger. Like I can feel like that. And so that's how it comes through for me when it has happened.
And
It's
what was
like
the
a
second one you said? You had named two of them.
claircognizance.
That, yeah, what's that one?
So that's like I keep going up here because that's like your crown chakra, and it's clear knowing. So I just
Okay.
know it's
Mm-hmm.
just know stuff. So you might hear the term where someone's like, "I just knew that off the top of my head." That's kind of like a claircognizant thing because, like I said, we're
Mm-hmm.
all intuitive people. We just don't all necessarily understand that we are. And some people are more tuned in and they're listening to that
Mm-hmm.
language and they hear it quicker. But it's a knowing, and that one's really hard. That took me a long time to even know that I had a like psychic gift because I didn't. I thought I was just knowing, like I
Crazy or just came out of
just
nowhere.
thinking it, right? I'm
Yeah.
just thinking that, and it's just a thought I have, and then I had to realize like, no, it's not a thought. It's insight. It's information that you're getting that you shouldn't even know, but you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I have a question for me. So, certain times when we talk about, like, not right now, because we're not talking about anybody or any situation, but like certain situations, if we talk about an experience with someone who's no longer here or something that's happened to somebody of this, not of the physical world, my eyes start to water. Like, I don't know what it is, but it happens like almost instantly. Like whenever someone's telling a story, it could be a stranger or anybody, like my eyes instantly like start watering. I don't cry, it's not crying per se, but like my eyes water, and every now and
Yeah.
then, depending on the story, I'll get goosebumps.
Yep.
So which one would that be?
Clairsentience.
Clear sentient. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Because your body's having a physical sensation, a
Clear
physical
sentient.
response to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well, I'm clear sentient then.
Yes.
In
Yes.
a way, okay. I've always wanted to know the name of which one it is because I've Googled it and I was like, what does this mean when, and I never got an answer. So I was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and like I said, I don't want to see and I don't want to hear, but
Right.
I do feel, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
not too much. I always tell my ancestors, do not ever come visit me visually at all. Like,
I'm the same. I'm the same way.
I'm like, no, I'm not old enough for that. I'm not mature enough for that. I
Yeah.
cannot handle that right now.
Yeah.
I don't need
I'm right
it.
there with you.
Mhm.
But my
So,
dreams are very vivid, so that's also clairvoyant. So
okay. Dreams. A lot of people, they take their, okay, I don't know if it's just me and I don't know if I have terrible intuition when it comes to dreams or I just don't think about it, but I try not to like ponder on my dreams. Is that bad?
no, because a lot of times our dreams, scientifically, it's just a lot of processing the events of the day or the week or whatever. So it
Hmm.
is a time where our brain is literally kind of like going to work and like filtering things out, organizing shit. So not every dream is significant. I
Hmm.
would say when it comes to dreams that are significant, you typically remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
and with that, it's not usually like a dream that like plays out literally like a
Hmm.
premonition. It a lot of times it's like information or feelings that you get to kind of clear or confirm something for you in your waking life. So I always tell people if you do remember a dream or something stood out, how did that dream make you feel? And that is more of the message of the dream than like what is literally happening in the dream.
Okay. My
But you
mom,
could,
she has very, very like, I'm not gonna say crazy, but vivid dreams that have come to
yes,
fruition before. And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't,
So
or
that's what I'm saying. So
people
you
visit her in her
can,
dreams.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
have precognition, which is what that's called. That's totally legit. for sure. But for the majority of humans, that's not necessarily what's happening. But it definitely is a thing. Yeah.
Do you think having a gift, do you think is, what's the word, genetic, I guess you could say?
I think it's twofold. I do think it's genetic, but like I said, humans in general, we all are intuitive, and I really hope and pray that our society, which I think it is going to go that way, even though right now it seems chaotic and crazy. But I think as we get into the future, people are going to be more aware of energy work, and it's going to
Mhm.
become more common that we are all familiar that we are like energetic bodies. And I think that kids will be more familiar with like trusting their intuition when they're younger, will be more supportive of them. So by the time that they grow up, it's not squash. That's what happens when you're a little kid and you start
Yes.
talking about things. Your adults around you tell you that you're crazy. Stop talking
Hmm.
about that. That's not true. You're imagining. And so then you like suppress it. And a lot of times that creates a lot of trauma
Hmm.
around psychic gifts and things because you were terrified as a child and no one was believing you. So then you have your own kind of like, am I crazy as like a 4-year old when you know you see something but someone keeps telling you you don't. So I think that a lot of people can be born with it or it's stronger in their family. Um, and some people can like nurture their own intuition and kind of like strengthen it just off of willpower.
Hmm.
What I think.
Speaking of family, how accepting or not accepting was your family when you started doing your work?
So, uh, simple answer is they're accepting in the sense of
Okay.
like I come from a very big family with a lot of
Hmm.
different personalities and we have all kind of been on our own journeys
Hmm.
like doing our own thing. So me doing something outside the box wasn't too shocking being the
Hmm.
last of all the kids. But as I've continued to do the work and be more, it's more centered in my life and who I am, it has created a little bit of friction with some of my family members that are, more devout in their Judeo-Christian beliefs, which is totally fine, but it does obviously there's a mismatch of how we perceive the world,
Hmm. Right.
and that can at times has had contentious conversations, but it's something that unfortunately I have learned how to deal with. It doesn't make it less hurtful sometimes that I have
Right.
to defend who I am, especially to people that are close to me and that are family and that I love. But, I do understand and I don't judge anybody for not
Believing
seeing the
or
world the way I see the world.
yeah.
Yeah. So
What do you think those misconceptions are about tarot reading and energy reading?
a lot of it comes from the fact that people think that when you're doing this work that I'm connecting to something evil.
Right. Hmm.
And that is insane because that like me as just a human being, like no thank you. Like
You
I
have to
don't
know
want
my character.
right. There you go. I don't want anything evil around me. I don't want
Hmm.
anything that's ill and heavy and not of the light, right? There is light and there is shadow energy in life. That is just it is what it is. And depending on who you are, whether you're a tarot reader or someone that works at McDonald's, you're gonna have a lean, right? You're gonna be more in the light, you might be more in the shadow, right? That's
Hmm.
that's humanity.
Yeah.
So it is dependent upon the person and like how their energy is, and that's how they connect with the bigger overarching energy that everyone connects to. But the biggest misconception is like I'm talking to the devil. Like, first of all, the same devil or that idea of the devil, the Christian devil, I don't believe in that. But I
Mm-hmm.
do believe in negative, low frequency energy that can be deemed the devil, right? There's a devil card in tarot, and it doesn't necessarily mean the devil, but it
Mm-hmm.
does mean temptation, someone not having control, toxic energy, obsession, addiction. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So, like, those concepts of the devil show up in tarot in a way that is a lot more human than people may want to even acknowledge on a daily basis that they're dealing with the devil, right? Um, so yeah, that's the most annoying, or that like I'm over here, like, I don't know. I don't, I think the other misconception is that I'm always and forever just reading people.
Mm. That's gotta
Like,
be tiring. If somebody does that, that is draining. I can
yeah,
imagine.
it's
Tiring.
yeah. So I don't know everything. I don't know when your birthday is. I don't know. Like, that is another one too. Well, then tell me when my birthday is. I don't freaking know. Like,
Yeah. They want you to
that's not how
prove
any
something
of
to
this works.
them.
Right.
That's what they I feel like people want to prove that you have this ability, and it's like, and then what you prove is not what it is, what they think it is. Like,
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing too. I always tell people another misconception. I said, I'm an energy reader. I'm not a predictor.
yeah.
I don't predict. I don't know what's going to happen. As I
You're
always say,
not
I
that's
am
a
not.
Raven.
Right, exactly. And I'm also not, like, I'm not God. So I have no
Mm-hmm.
idea what is going to happen in your life. What I do know is the energy that is around you, how you can interact with it with your free will.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait, you know what I'm saying? And then the idea that, oh, something could be coming in for you, and this is a possibility. It's up to you if you take that opportunity or not. But like,
Mm-hmm.
that's your free will at the end of the day. So yeah.
Someone from the audience, they asked, when you do read people, how can you decipher or like tell if they're how do you build your confidence when the client lies? I guess that's what they're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I
Or
can
how can you
tell.
tell? Okay.
And the biggest way that I do it, so building your confidence is probably the number one thing to do energy work or reading or psychic work or anything like that, because it isn't something that is provable, right?
Right.
You have to prove it to the person, right? You have to tell them something that hits where they're like, oh shit, okay, she's on to something.
Mm-hmm.
But to avoid that kind of like back and forth, tit for tat, weirdo things that can happen, I literally don't ask people anything. I ask them their name, and that is it. So you don't need to talk to me. You don't need to tell me something. You don't need to ask me a question, because that any of that is a chance for the person to try to interfere with like what I'm going to be picking up on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how and the confidence part is like practice, right? And just doing it, and then and getting affirmed by people. And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a weird thing, and I'm not saying I'm never wrong, but what I am saying is that if I am wrong, it's because this person has yet to experience what I'm picking up on. So they're
Okay.
like, no. And then they go about their merry way. And I don't know, but I can probably guess a day later, 2 weeks later, 3 months later, that same energy that I was picking up on, they find themselves in that situation. And then they're like, oh, that girl told me something like this. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, I don't know when it's going to happen, but so
Yeah. That was a good question.
it was a good
Uh,
question.
huh?
I said it was a good
Yeah,
question.
it was. So speaking of like experiences, and when it comes to reading, has there any bizarre instances to where like something that's happened in a reading, or you like looking around the room?
The coolest, it wasn't too
Okay.
scary. I haven't had any like I haven't had any like creepy
Mm-hmm.
things. Maybe the most is like I just won't like someone's energy. Like, I'll just
Mm.
like I don't like that person's energy. Like,
Oh, I never thought about that.
yeah. So that's like where I'm just like, ugh, icky, don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why like protecting yourself when you're reading is important. But the coolest, and it's kind of connected to mediumship, which like, once again, it comes in randomly whenever it happens. It's really cool. I was reading for a bachelorette party, and I was reading for the bride,
Oh.
and it just, this energy just came in, and so usually I decipher the directionality of which the,
Mm-hmm.
like, what side of my body I feel the energy. Your left side is your feminine side, your right side is your masculine side. So when I feel energy approach from my right side, it's usually a male family member that's transitioned. If it's on the left, it's usually a woman. So I felt someone coming in from the left, and then I just got this like image of an older woman. And I was like, I don't know. And I always say this because it's weird. That's how it kind of works. It's like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why, but, and I'll say what's coming to me because, like, that's how that works. Like, I don't know why this is coming up. So I'm just going
Right.
to say it because if you know, then great. So I was like, I don't know why, but she's talking about some recipe or something. And the bride was like, shut up. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I literally just baked her specific recipe for my bridal party for the weekend to like represent her not being with us anymore. And I said, oh, well, she's visiting and wants you to know that she's right here with you. So that was really cool.
You know what's crazy? As you're telling this story, my Clara's whatever is coming through because like my eyes start to water a little bit, and I got goosebumps.
There you go. That's
That's
confirmation. And I just got a
yeah,
goosebump. So that's how like that's confirmation, like, oh yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That
exactly. That's why
happened.
I'm like, well, if somebody tell me to scare something, well, you're not lying because I feel it. I feel
Right.
that you're telling me the truth. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's that's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, it's funny. But you know,
Yeah,
it's interesting. I guess you could say.
totally.
So a little bit on a different room, but same room, because we you said something earlier and it sparked a question in my head about how people move forward today on the socials with the tarot, with the
Yeah.
TikTok,
Yeah.
with the Instagram, with the fraudulence.
Yeah.
How do we navigate those
Yeah.
incidents or those people that
Yeah.
are frauds? And how do we navigate by also, how do you feel about gatekeeping? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know this right now is the total opposite of gatekeeping because, you know, it's going to be aired for everybody to see. But how do you feel
Yeah.
about those sections?
So, just like anything in life where there is real talent, skill,
Mhm.
education, it's frustrating when that is skipped, right? It's
Mhm.
annoying, if someone does the work and they put the work in and they have the knowledge and they read the books and they took their time and they really learned something, anything, and then you see someone come in with a very surface understanding of whatever it is that they're doing, it feels very cheapening, and it feels like you're disrespecting the craft of what you're doing, no matter what it
Mhm.
is, right? Music, tarot, sewing, whatever, right? Like, please. So, with that being said, all of these tarot people and channels, like, don't get me wrong, I watch lots. I don't like TikTok, but
Mhm.
I watch my YouTubers. So I'm not, I love it when I'm connecting with people that I know that would know what they're doing. But just like the trendiness of it, yeah, it's rolls eyes, like it's kind of, and it kind of doesn't help an already suspicious
Mhm.
space. It makes it even more like, oh, these people are all just fucking making it up because anybody can buy a deck and just say
Yeah.
stuff.
I
And
never
you
thought
can,
about that. Like how it hurts the industry in a way when
yeah,
everybody's saturating it.
yeah, with their readings. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And that's the part you can tell when someone is, everybody can read tarot because it's a system, and you can read the cards and you can read the guidebook and you can understand it and you can get in the ballpark. But not everybody is channeling messages or higher insight.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what, that is a difference. And I think that the more people understand that not everyone is channeling energy, some people are just reading cards.
Okay.
That is different. You're, anybody can pick up a tarot deck, shuffle them, pull them, and get a message. But that does not mean that their guides are giving them this message, or that this and like a lot of that is very theatric.
Yes.
And it's like watching people watch something and mimic it. And it's like, you can, that's not okay, cool, like, yeah. So that's how I feel. I think there's really good, like, authentic readers out there, and
Mm-hmm.
then I think there's a lot of people that just mimic what they
Mm-hmm.
think readings are because they have a deck and they
Mm-hmm.
understand what each of the card technically means, and then they watch other people read, and so then they do it in the same way and the same vocab, and so it can seem like, oh yeah, they're reading, but
They're just
are
reading the
they?
cards and not reading energy, like you
There
said.
you go. There
I
you
have
go.
a confession. So in college, I was going through a situation and I had a friend who introduced me to tarot, and I would go on YouTube, and they have, like, you say you have three cards, their
Yep.
intuition tells you to pick a card, and then they pick up the card, and that card somehow magically relates to your situation. And I had those happen a lot. And I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. That's crazy. Like, it would be crazy because sometimes it will be spot on to
Yeah.
the situation I was going through. But after a while, it got like, no. Every time, like, no, no, no. So I was like, okay, well, obviously, it's time for me to put down the YouTubes.
Yeah, because
After a
they,
while.
yeah, the pick of cards, yeah, yeah, because after a while, nowadays for sure, it's like everyone's just doing a pick a card. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And a lot of the information feels very similar, or you'll have people talking about
Yes.
twin flame
Yes.
journeys and
Mm-hmm.
soulmate journeys, which all of those are legit things and concepts. But just like anything, people can jump on it and then like kill it because they don't really even understand what they're talking about. And then that's what's dangerous, because you have
Mm-hmm.
people that are like putting their lives on the line depending on what this person is saying. And that's when you're missing the ethics around doing the work, which is my biggest gripe about people just reading online, is that you're not, there's ethics to it. Like, you can't just, you're dealing with people's emotions. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
serious, and you can't just tell people stuff, and there's a responsibility there,
And
and
not
that's
everybody is clinically sane to handle the
exactly,
information that's on YouTube. Because somebody could be on their last edge, and that one reading could have, that could be it for them to do
exactly,
whatever they may or may not do.
yeah.
I
And
just thought
that's
about
real,
that.
and that's scary, and
Mm-hmm.
that is problematic, and that's one of the shadow sides of this
Mm.
world that can definitely make it difficult um to be a reader, to have a spiritual space, to do this, because you do have people that take advantage of people, that are charlatans, that are Miss Cleos, and that's unfortunate. But that's not the, I wouldn't say, the majority of true professional readers. We have ethics.
Mm-hmm. Ethics is important. Somebody in the comments said, come on, tarot ethics. Yes, yes, yes,
Oh.
yes. Um, Another comment from the audience. Where was it at? Oh, okay. Wait, no, not that one. How do you keep your personal bias out of readings?
That is a great question. So it's about, so my co-creator and business partner, she teaches how to shut down your lower chakras when you read, because your lower chakras are like your humanness, where your bias would be from, because your humanness is like what you've already experienced, what your life. So shutting those down helps you pull more from up here, so you're getting more like pure energy flow coming in and less of this ego energy coming in. But when I'm reading, it's about the person, right? It's about who I'm reading, and I have to, as a professional, I have to remember that this is not about me. And if I do bring myself into something, I will always prompt that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I will be clear, like, this is a personal anecdote that I'm adding to what I'm picking up energetically to give more context or maybe help someone understand something. But let's say I'm dealing with somebody who is with some in a relationship, and I have an opinion on that. My opinion is not the energy read, right? So, like, I'm gonna read the energy, and then I will be very clear, especially when I work on the app that I work for, when I say this is advice, which would be an opinion,
Mm-hmm.
versus like this is what's coming through as an energetic like message from spirit. So it is it it's you have to practice and being discerning, and understanding that you are not some all-knowing being, and you have to also check your own ego, because it's not about you, it's about the person that you're reading for. So you have to make sure that you're not like trying to like prove or trying to like um it
Overread.
yeah, you have to find that kind of balance, and I attribute that for myself. A lot of my like astrological placements help me be more balanced with readings.
It's Libra season.
There you go. Exactly. I have a Mercury in Libra, so how my brain works is very Libra. It's very
Mm-hmm.
like here, right? So but that's a good question, because I recently got a reading with a reader, and I was like, ooh, your ego was all up and through there.
Oh, that reader's voice to you.
Yeah. So it
Yikes.
was like, that wasn't a helpful reading for me, because you're reading based off of what you would do. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not why I'm sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also think, especially like with certain clients, after a while, we're in a different level. So, like, I can be a little bit more real with them about, like, okay, now, about like the cycles that they're in or things that they need to do. But at the end of the day, free will, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
hope that answered. You can shut down your lower chakras so you're less susceptible to your ego. And then also, if you do have a personal anecdote, it's really important to like preface that, like, in the reading.
Random question. Do men come to you often or like
Ugh,
on the same amount as women?
I love reading for men for that exact reason, is that they're rare. Not super rare. I have
Mm-hmm.
men that get readings. I have clients that are repeat clients that are men, that are straight men as well, because a lot of times it is a lot more LGBTQ men that are
Mm-hmm.
more open. Um, but yes, and when I'm in certain environments, when there's more men, um, like I read at Controller Eyes every second and fourth Thursday, Mondays. There's a lot of men there. I read
Mm-hmm.
lots of men in that space, more so than like other places where there's just like women, because it's
Yeah.
a women centered event or whatever. But yeah, men do sit down with me. It is less than women, but and because of that, I love when men get readings, because it's just like, yay, yay.
I have a believer. I don't have someone who's trying to fight me.
Right. Yeah. Dating wise, don't get me started.
Because I do see on social media a lot of men, they do not believe in tarot or astrology, none of that. And it's like,
Yeah.
why do I have to pick, what is it, teeth and nails? Is that the right saying? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Teeth and,
Fight tooth
okay.
and nail.
There we go. With you, just to get an understanding of yourself, who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Like, why not just be open to it? Like, if it don't work, okay, cool. But go to somebody that's legit, sit down with them, get the experience out the way, and say you did it. That's just how I look at it, you know?
Ditto, girl.
And they're like, oh, no, that's not real. That's not
I
real.
know.
You don't know. You don't know. Now,
I
if it's your
know.
belief as to why, okay, that's different. But if you are a disbeliever just because, come on.
Right. Right.
Come
And
on.
that's the thing too. Like once again, astrology is not a belief system, and neither is tarot. They're not belief systems. They're languages or they're
Mhm.
translators of energy. So it's like it's not something you have to believe in. It just is what it is. So like it's not about like it's not challenging your faith to get
Mhm.
an astrology reading or to get a tarot reading because we're not talking about your faith or what you literally believe in. I'm just giving you information. So
Yeah.
you can use that information and filter it through your beliefs, through your brain, through your own being, and take what you need and leave what you don't. Like, it's not a
Some
belief
people,
system. I'm
they
not over
they
here.
think
I'm not praying to tarot cards. You know what I'm saying? I'm not praying to astrology. Like that. That's what people don't understand. Like
they don't
it's
think they could coexist, and
because
I think
they're
that's what
thinking
we
it's a
agree to
fake.
disagree.
Yeah, and astrology is all up through the Bible, but we don't have to get into that either.
Like I said, it's Libra season. Shout out to my Libras.
Right.
Right. And do you still do astrology reading?
I do.
You do? Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, you still do astrology reading.
Yeah, natal chart
Um,
readings.
natal chart. Yes, I remember one time we did one a couple of years ago, and I didn't know that the link you sent me, I didn't know it expired.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I had recorded like a little, like maybe 3 minutes of it, and I was like, that was a good reading.
Oh
I
dang.
intended to go back on and look at it. And I was like, it's gone.
Yeah, sorry. That's when I had to get a new computer, so a lot of the older, but yeah.
It's okay. Well, always time for a new one. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Someone in the audience asks, when you view online, like when you do online readings, and 3 out of 7 readers have the same question, what is that? Like, what is that about?
3 out of 7 readers.
Yeah, like when people have majority of people have the same question. I think that's what I
Oh,
was
like
saying.
love and like
Mhm.
love. Well, that's because I'm assuming you're saying like the majority of people have the same questions when people
Mhm.
are doing tarot, and it kind of sounds like the same over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because most people want to know about love and money. Sometimes you'll get a reading about something specific, which is always fun. I love a specific question. Um, but yeah, that's pretty there, that the humans we're not that complex. So that's why I would say you see the same kind of readings, the same kind of information because.
Yeah. So with astrology, when did you start getting into astrology? Did that come at the same time as tarot and energy?
It didn't. So I've always like loved like astrology, like,
Me too.
and with that, like my sun sign, right? My mom has
Hmm.
always been very clear to point out that I'm such a Virgo my whole life. So I wish I would have when I first started tarot, like started getting more into astrology immediately, but I didn't because they are completely linked. There's
Hmm.
astrological like placements that are connected directly to tarot cards, and there's planets that are directed or connected directly to tarot. So they're like they're
Interchangeable.
woven together. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I got into astrology honestly more in depth in 2019. That
Oh,
was
okay.
like when I think that was the first time I figured out my rising sign and all that, which is not that long ago. But yeah. I think my friend, no, I'm wrong. Like, I'm not, where I got more into it was 2019, but when I found out about like there's other placements was in 2015 when my oldest friend, she bought me a natal chart reading for my birthday.
I want one of those. Like I was telling my friend, I want one of those for my birthday,
Yeah.
and I think it was last year. Maybe I didn't know where to go to look for because I was like, y'all, I seen this on Google. Whenever, how many years ago? I said I know that there's a thing where you could get a natal chart reading, like,
Yeah.
and I think it was a book. Maybe is it a book?
Well, there's lots of books, you know what I
Okay,
mean? And it just depends on the reading,
for
but
you,
that was
right? For
yeah.
your chart. Okay.
hmm But that was the first time like I knew that I had these other placements. And she did it a disservice. She didn't even go in depth into like how the chart is, and I probably would have been more interested. She kind of like glossed over it, but yeah, so 2015 is when I knew like, oh, I'm more than just a Virgo sun, and then 2019 is when I started to like research and read and learn. Yeah.
Okay. So they said, okay, so I guess we misinterpreted the question wrong. They said no when they all give you a message that resonates.
Oh, okay. So ultimately, when you're doing collective readings, you're tapping into the collective. So it is not abnormal for a reader's message to resonate because we're all part of the collective energy. So, especially based on what's happening astrologically. So, if we're under a certain transit and that transit has certain traits or like properties that are connected to it, it's easy to pick up on that, and it's not far fetched that, oh my God, that's how I'm feeling. Oh my God, that's how I'm feeling. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's what that person just said. That's what that
Mm-hmm.
person just said. Because we are all a collective and we're pulling from the collective when we do collective readings. So it's not, that's why, like, you can go to this person, this person, this person, and they all have a similar message because they're pulling. And that is a great example of confirmation that those people aren't bullshitting because you're getting a consistent answer. Just like in math, there's one answer, right? And you can check
Mm-hmm.
your work and make sure you got it. So if you hear the same message from multiple people, that means that those people are all connecting to the collective energy and you're getting like an accurate read. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. I want to make sure we got that question right. And I have a little funky question at the end. I just decided to throw that in
Okay, we
there.
love a fun question.
Have you or do you read animals' energy?
Aw, I don't read animals'
Well,
energy.
not
I do.
I don't
There
say
is
not
a
like as you know. Okay, I'm sorry. Just go ahead. Finish your question. I'm gonna finish. Yeah.
yeah, there are people that can like read animals. Like
Mm-hmm.
like there's this one lady on this one app I'll go to when I'm like, can you tell me if my dog? Because he's got a little hip problem. I'm like, is he doing okay? So some
Mm-hmm.
people can like read animal energy all day. Not I. I can just read their regular vibes. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's not one. But I will say that more intuitive people, typically animals will like you,
Mm.
right? They'll like to be around you. If you are doing readings, sometimes animals will come hang out. So like um my dog doesn't do it all the time, but sometimes he'll hang out with me in here. And then my best friend has a cat. Sometimes the cat will come through. So it's like the animals kind of are that classic kind of readers themselves where they know like things are happening,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, but for me, I don't know what they got going on. I'm always like, what do you want? I don't know. Okay.
And babies too.
Right. Yeah,
And
babies are the
babies.
same. Mm-hmm.
Toddlers. Yeah.
Yeah,
They see and hear things that we may not see and hear that are there.
totally.
For sure. So I am done with my questions. Anybody else have any questions? Do you have anything that you would like to add or say?
No, but I just want to pull like a card for anybody that's on and watching.
Okay.
So it'll be a collective. So if you are here, if you watch this later, this is going to be a message for you guys. It's
Will my
spooky
energy get
season.
pulled too?
Everybody, yeah.
Okay, everybody. Okay.
Spooky season. So I'm going to use my zombie tarot. All right. Spirit, please allow me to connect to whomever sees this live, is on right now, or sees it later, and give the messages from that highest self for their greatest good and everyone else around them. And so it is. Interesting. So what I was feeling energetically in my solar plexus was like this fight. Okay. This fight. And what I mean by that is like, don't give up. If you feel like you keep hitting a wall or things just feel like they aren't moving and it's just taking forever and you might be feeling like you're exhausted and like, I don't want to do this. It's important to like dig down and find like your why again, right? Because the 9 of Wands is our base energy. And so this is this energy of like, because in this, all the zombies are placed, there's only like 2 humans left. So it's like they're not giving up. They're almost there, right? I just gotta eat this one, and we're all zombies. So it's like that type of energy. You're almost there. But when you're almost there, it can feel like the worst. It can feel the most tiring. It can feel the most exhausting. But nines are about completion and cycles ending. So that feeling of hitting a wall is going to be ending, I would say, sooner than later, even though it felt like it's taken forever, right? And let's see what's on top. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. So there's movement coming in. It could be a relationship, it could be a project, but there's something coming in that's going to start to make what all that hard work or that exhausted energy feel like fresh, like a breath of fresh air, like movement, like okay, finally something's happening, something's going, something's moving and shaking. So something's moving and shaking. Don't give up, keep up the fight, and know that cycles are always ending. It may seem like they take a while, but they will end and a new one will begin. And it does feel like something new is coming in soon.
I hope that was for me because I felt hit at first. Because listen, Sid, life has been lifing, okay? Like for real, life has been lifing.
I
And
hear
toward
you.
the end, I applied it to a situation that could possibly happen. I don't know. I think I told you I transferred jobs, so that could be the
Right.
new. I don't know. I don't
Right.
know because at my old one it was some bullshit, and I
Yeah.
hope like this one is green and blue and pretty bright colors. Start
Yep.
life.
Yep.
And also, I hope it's for my career too, because that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, cups energy is about our creativity. It's also about our intuition. Of course, it's about romance. It's about the things that make our heart feel lit up and like connected. So it could apply to anything that just feels really close to you or you care about.
Or maybe it's not that job. Maybe it's career. I don't know about the niggas, but I don't know. We'll see. And it may reply to somebody else. It could be everybody, like you said, it's the collective. So
Exactly.
okay, let's see what they said. Oh, you read it? So then the audience said, oh, I'm almost to the end of my
Wow.
divorce.
There you go.
Congratulations on that. Sign them dotted
Bless.
lines and let's get it cracking. Let's get it moving.
Bless.
Yeah.
Hey, oh,
Okay.
that's Michelle. Hey, girl.
So I don't think I have any more questions.
Okay.
Sid, I really, really appreciate you for coming on. We gotta do it again.
Yes, thanks for having me. I
Yes,
love
a
it.
great way to kick off spooky season randomly
Indeed.
on a random day because again I had creator's block and I was thinking, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And boom, we was at an event together and I was like, we started chit. I don't know how we started talking about life, I guess. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, you know
Yep.
what? And then boom, here
Yep.
we are.
Worked out.
Worked out.
Divine timing. Always.
Always. Always, always, always. Well, I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah.